Hey folks, Sean and Kevin here, and this is The Other Thing. So this is the show where we talk about this, that, the other, whatever comes to mind, really.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're going to get started. Thanks for joining.
Yeah.
So we were just actually starting ahead of time. We were talking a little bit, but Kevin's got a subject for us. So Kevin, take it away. What are we talking about today?
Origin stories.
I love it. I love it. And I think you had one specific origin story in mind, but
Yeah, my gamer tag.
gamer tag. There you
gamer
go.
Tag.
Yeah. We were contemplating, or we were discussing earlier. What is that called? A handle, an
Handle.
avatar name?
Yeah.
We didn't know.
And when I relaxed, I thought to myself, "Oh, gamer tag."
Yep.
And mine goes way back to probably about 1998 when I started using my gamer tag of Valeris.
I was going to say, are you comfortable sharing what it is? But okay.
Oh yeah,
Valeris.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right.
They need to find your gamers, because they might see me out there in the netherworld and say, "Oh my God,
They
I
need
heard
to know.
this podcast."
Yeah, I know this guy. I know him.
Yeah. So Valeris, it's way back in 1998 was an era where Dungeons and Dragons PC gaming was just starting as far as multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there was Dungeons and Dragons games way before that, but they were not multiplayer.
But they were the gold box games, and we will love them forever.
Yes, I love them.
Forever.
Full Radiance, Curse of Azure Bonds. Oh yeah, great shit.
As good as gets.
Yes. So I love those games. So this game was Baldur's Gate. And it was actually the era where the people I hung out with, didn't have a whole lot of cash.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually built several PCs that I maintain up to the latest specs just so they can come to my house and game.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a good friend.
Yeah, I don't know. We're lonely and I just wanted people to come over my house.
Yeah, I mean, I guess opposites do attract.
Yeah. Yeah. So the problem is we start building this Baldur's Gate and I didn't know what to call my character. So, and I always wanted to be the character that nobody else wanted to be. So I was either going to be a thief or a cleric, because everyone else wanted to be warriors or magic users.
I'm down with the cleric myself, but
so I was okay with the cleric. I learned to love the cleric.
Yeah. I'm a fan.
But my first character was thief in Baldur's Gate, and I didn't know what to name it.
Yep.
So back then, internet was young, but I purchased a program because that's what you did back then. Because
no, you did.
You couldn't download it.
The rest of us didn't.
Yeah, so I purchased a program that was basically a Dungeons and Dragons character sheet generator. And
okay.
Part of it had a name generator built into it.
I thought you were buying just a name generator.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Yes. But this is a full character sheet, but I just used the name generator portion of this software.
Okay, that sounds bad.
So I started going through all the names, and none of them was hitting me.
Okay.
But I saw variations of Valerian, Valeria, stuff like that I kind of liked, but I didn't want to use those.
Venereal.
So yeah, Venereal, yeah, BD, So actually, my full character's name I made on my own, based on those liking those titles. I said Valeris, and to be truth be told, I haven't seen many Valeris out there in the netherworld, except for maybe a couple references of some ancient, medieval. There is a Valeris out there, but no one really uses for a gamer tag. So it ended up being kind of unique that no one else is really using Valeris. And he has a last name. His name is Maglorian.
Maglorian.
M-A-E.
Okay.
Maglorian.
Maglorian. All right.
Valeris Maglorian is his name.
That's fantastic.
Yes, which was better than my and I had to create a new gamer tag.
I was going to ask, was that your first gamer tag, or
This is my first one that really stuck.
Yeah.
My gamer tag before that is usually some combination of Drew. Because for some odd... this is really sad. When I lived in Ohio, I didn't watch much TV in the mid-90s at all.
Okay.
So when I moved out of Ohio and I moved to
It
Vermont...
shows, by the way, if you Babylon 5. But
yes.
Neither here nor there.
Yeah, so, yes. That was... Babylon 5 was over by 98. So in 98, I moved to Vermont. And I didn't watch much television. And there was a TV show on TV that I never watched when I lived in Ohio. And I'm like, what's the show about? Oh, it's about Cleveland. It's Drew Carey.
Yeah.
So my username, my password, everything back then was all some variation of Drew Carey. So, yes.
It's fantastic.
So Drew was my gamer tag up until that point. So I figured Valeris sounded better.
I like that. And then you haven't looked back since, huh?
Really except for in the Xbox 360, I got really into like Rainbow Six and Call of Duty games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I did have a gamer tag for a short time called No One Left Behind.
Okay.
So I had that for a while, and then I hated it because I stopped playing those kind of games. And then Xbox for the longest time wouldn't let you change your gamer tag. Once it was set, it was set.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So one day I decided to change it. They finally let you. I think you had to pay for it before then, so that's why I never did it.
Right,
yeah, it was some bullcrap. So they finally let you change it, and I did, and now it's at Jakar.
Oh yeah, Citizen
Jakar.
Citizen Jakar. Yeah.
That's my gamer tag in Xbox, but for every other game I ever play, it's Valeris.
I seem to recall you having a few other names now that I think about it, though. There's certainly one for the Switch, and I don't think it's Kevin.
It's Citizen Jakar because it's using. Oh no, wait a minute.
It's
using Smeghead.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is Smeghead.
Yeah, it's using Smeghead.
I seem to recall on a certain game system, your name is Butthole, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It might be Buttface. I don't know what it is. But
that's not online though. That's a local login for your PlayStation.
Oh yeah, that was me giving him a profile name on my PS4 where he had no choice. I had the controller.
And Smeghead, I didn't realize this was gonna be a gamer tag. I thought it was just a login. So I use Smeghead a lot for like usernames for websites.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of websites where it's some variation of Smeghead, Smeg for Brains.
Fantastic.
And that's based on a TV show called Red Dwarf, where Smeg is their version of an F word, or an idiot.
All right. Well,
they use in variations. They call you Smeghead, Smegface, Smegoff. So,
fantastic.
Yeah. So Battlestar Galactica wasn't the first case of somebody using some other word to be an F word.
It's fantastic. I don't remember
Frack.
Oh yeah, Frack. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, that would throw me off too.
Yeah.
Big fan of the F word.
Yeah. So that Smeg is my name in those. But for every video game I play, whether it's any kind of dungeon crawler, and it picks a username, it's Valeris.
It's got to be so refreshing because still to this day I stop. Like I get to the name of your character and I'm like, I have no idea what their name is.
Yeah.
Could be anything.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to use. And my evolution, my origin story is not anywhere near as cool as yours because there's no story to go along with it. I used Necro18 for the longest time, and for the record, I was in my late 20s by the time I started using it, so the 18 had absolutely no significance. I just happened to type 1-8 afterwards.
Like Alice Cooper? I don't know.
My guess is I tried to use the name Necro, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
So I just typed something immediately afterwards, and it happened to stick. Like nobody happened to choose Necro18, so I did, in fact, have somebody ask me about it once, though, and I simply said I'd taken it over from the 17 Necros before me. But there really wasn't much significance to it. And then I discovered Flood. And I used Flood almost exclusively for years.
And this predates Halo, from what you tell me.
Yep, it predates Halo, and as I recall, I chose Flood for reasons that are completely unknown to me. I have absolutely no idea what the origin story is.
I think it's easy to type.
It's, I probably just was hemming and hawing. I needed, typing random shit. That came out, and I said, good enough.
Yeah.
And then since then, I've pretty much used Flood to some degree, just because it usually has some kind of numbers with them, almost all of them, but lately actually I have changed though, and I've been using Terrapin with some numbers after it. That's my name on some variant actually on my PS4. I'm Terrapin Knight.
Is that from a band or something?
It might be. Yeah, that would be a Terrapin Station reference for all those deadheads out there. Yep, that would entirely be it. But yeah, no, I get it though. You got to let the audience know. So yeah, that's a dead reference, folks.
Yeah.
So I always have a Terrapin name now, and since we're talking about handles, we've got to talk about, if we haven't yet, we will talk about Unreal Tournament 2004, the greatest shooter that ever was, will be, and
if you don't agree, I will fight you.
Yeah, exactly. You're just wrong. I'm sorry.
Wrong.
I know it's a matter of opinion, but your opinion is wrong.
Yes, Unreal Tournament 2004 specifically that year.
It's got to be that one, and it's got to be Instagive.
Yeah, insta-kill.
Yeah,
perfect.
Just done. But be that as it may, that game, while we play that often, it has this beautiful feature that when, Kevin shoots me, I'll see a message that pops up and says, "You were killed by Valeris."
Yeah.
And I know exactly what killed me, which made it great when I finally named my character. finally thought of a unique name that wasn't Flood. And my character is a punch to the cock. So when I do shoot Valeris, he gets in bold letters on his screen, "You have died from."
Oh, punch to the cock.
Exactly.
And, I think that's one of the reasons why the game is so good.
I agree.
I think, because it's so prominent when it happens. Other games aren't, especially modern games. I don't be seeing any play of the new games that are out. The
shooters.
The shooters, the PUBG and stuff like that. All that stuff, it's tiny little text.
Oh yeah. You need
not
that
prominent in your face of who killed you.
Yeah, you need to know somebody just punched you in the cock, and that's what was your ultimate demise.
Yeah, that's a lost art in video game making. I think they don't encourage you to pick good gamer tags when you kill people.
Yeah, that one. Well, we'd gone through. I mean, honestly, in those times, I think we were changing our names in between matches.
Constantly.
It was just in a single night, you'd have 50 different names.
I even changed my character between matches just to throw you off for just 1 second.
And I was gonna say, and it kind of worked too. More than I'd like to admit to.
Yes, I'll pick somebody else this time.
Yep, and it would throw me off.
You have about 20 seconds to do all those changes between matches.
Yeah, it's not much, but you move differently than the computer, though. So I agree. Obviously, I have to observe you for a few seconds, but that's all it is a few seconds.
Yeah, I call my style spaz.
Yeah, I've tried following you. It's not pretty.
It's not, because it's a space bar. The jump, to me, that's my jump key, because I don't remap it like you do.
Yeah, I know. You're right. I'm wrong. I admit it.
And
E
I
is
just spaz
jump.
with it.
Everyone E.
Yeah.
Right there.
I can't. I need to think. It helps a different part of my brain or something. Then I'm jumping.
I'm trying to convert myself because I'm the only one saying E. I recognize that everybody else agrees and I'm the wrong guy here, but boy, it's unnatural.
Yeah, the one thing that I think is the funniest about Unreal Tournament 2004 is that our sensitivity settings are the complete opposite. That is the funniest thing.
That's a great story too. Yeah. So I would say we play it, maybe once a month. Not necessarily every month, but when you look at a year, I'm going to say we played it 12 times a year.
Yeah, because we just need to kill each other. It's just the most fun.
It really is. It doesn't get old. I'll say that. But yeah, one day we decided, because generally speaking, I think you might argue this point, but Kevin whoops my ass, generally speaking. Sometimes it's close, but generally speaking, I'm going to say he pulls out ahead. But one day we decided to spice it up and just switch computers. Now, for the record, we run the same laptops for these games. Kevin's slightly better because he cheats.
Oh.
But aside from that, we run the same laptops. And this is how we learned that while my mouse, if you look at it, it'll move. It's so sensitive.
Yeah.
Yours is like a fucking battleship. It's like I'm scrolling and my dad's thinking about turning around.
Yeah, I gotta swipe my mouse across the mouse pad 4 times just to look behind me.
Yeah, it pains me that you beat me with that.
Yes.
With those settings.
Because I don't play with my mouse going left and right. I play strafing with a keyboard.
Well, that's good because it doesn't move left or right.
Right. So I strafe back and forth, and that's how I aim. Because I find it's more accurate for me that I don't use this hand to aim. I aim with me lining up the cursor by me strafing right to you and then hitting the fire.
I think that works by and large because you beat me so often, but I think that's also why I seem to get you more in the showdowns where it comes down to spaz.
Yes. Like there's maps that are one-on-one, yet there's 50 computer players with
great.
And you're like, it's a freaking nightmare.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the game allows you to set the number of computer players per map, and we just leave it at like 8 or 10 for all maps. So you get these 2-player maps with 10, 15 guys in them. It's a good time.
It's chaos. Absolute chaos.
But yeah, those are the origins of Valeris. So I'm sorry Flood was such a letdown, but at least Valeris, there was a story.
Valeris, and the funny part is the friends that I had at the time hated it. He wished I'd never used that name. I don't know why he just.
Why do you find that offensive?
I don't know why it bothered him. I think because it sounded like a real name, but wasn't. I don't know. I forget what dumbass name.
I mean, not for nothing. Flood's a kind of stupid name. But hey,
I know.
You got to name yourself something.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but I still kept building computers for him.
That's nice of you.
And back then, you know what I built back then? Back then, it was the first renaissance of the AMD CPU, where it went to like phases. Like the AMD.
I don't remember when AMD's came out. Were they Pentiums?
They were, it was I forget what CPU it was, but these are. It was when Pentium wasn't Square anymore. They both for a while used a cartridge CPU.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so
I didn't realize that.
yeah, it's weird. It looked like a cartridge. You just push it down instead of the, before and after went back to the flat wafers.
Yeah.
But these were like weird cartridge, AMD Theron. I forget what it was, but I made a couple AMD CPUs and I used ATI video cards back then. I was all about and back then ATI and AMD were different companies. Now they joined up now.
Yeah.
Since then. And then Intel decided, wow, this is a competition. This sucks. So for many, many, many years, Intel became the de facto standard for building computers.
Yeah.
But then AMD is now having a second renaissance now where they're making cheaper, better processors than Intel right now.
Yeah.
And Intel's playing catch up because they got, resting on their laurels. And now these new AMD Ryzen CPUs, that you can $300 and performs as good as an $800 Intel one.
It's insane.
I mean, if you have the money, Intel still has top line CPUs. If you're willing to spend $1,000 on a CPU, it'll still be better than AMD. But for the price, the performance,
Yeah.
AMD is like people want to make a gaming PC for $500. You can now.
I'm glad you said that though. Just now I stick with Intel.
Yes. Yeah. If you have the money, go Intel. But if you're just trying to make a budget gaming machine that you don't want to spend $2,000 on, then AMD is a better choice.
Honestly, I don't mean to imply that I'm made of money. I'm really, it's funny. It's my wife and I were just talking about this, Mick and I. We were talking about the PlayStation 4. I just bought the PlayStation 4, 2 months back, right?
Yeah, the Pro. So you didn't get the lame version.
I got
like
the Pro, and, Kevin being the good friend that he is, advised me, and pretty much told me flat out, you're not hooking it to a 4K TV. You don't need the Pro.
Yes.
And I said, great, I'm buying the Pro.
Yes, this is true.
And I'm buying the Pro not really for any bells or whistles that come with it. I'm buying it for regret insurance. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
Because what's going to happen is if I bought the regular one, I mean, I pretty much bought the PS4 for Final Fantasy VII Remake. That was pretty much it.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I love the thing, I play it all. But that was why I bought it. And I knew that if I bought the regular one, I would start playing the game, and sooner or later I'd come across some chest or something, or some item. And it would be like, oh, I'm sorry, you can't open this chest because you had the poor man's version. And I would be furious. And then I'd have to go out and buy the PlayStation Pro just to find out there was something stupid in that fucking chest. But aside from that fact, now I've literally spent, 1.5 times or twice as much, in a manner of speaking, as I would have just biting the bullet, spending the extra money up front, and not regretting. So I'm not really paying for bells or whistles. I'm paying to not regret.
Yeah. Another thing that's, yes, I don't think you would regret buying an AMD processor over to Intel, but if in the back of your mind you go, I can get a couple more FPS if I got the Intel instead.
Yeah, I do it all over the place, and it costs a lot, by the way. It's like when Mick wanted a treadmill. I bought her a treadmill, brand new. Now, for the record, exercise equipment, treadmills especially, they're typically clothes holders. Gotta say she uses those all the time, but besides the point. They are one of the easiest things to find used at a fraction of what you're going to pay for the real deal. The real deal being a new one. And I had to buy a new one. And again, the primary argument was this. If the new one didn't work, like something on it just didn't work or was off, if I bought a used one, I'm always going to wonder, is that just because the, wear and tear, this thing's off? Or was it because of the previous owners? That would be like a splinter in my brain because I'd always wonder.
Yeah.
Now if the thing breaks, I just know it broke. And granted it's warranty and whatnot, but that aside, it's really just to not be tormented by that question of, is that just because it happened, or is it because of the previous owners?
Yeah, but I don't know, I guess I line up treadmills and exercise equipment the same way I would buy a used mattress. It would, even though it was clean,
Really?
Even if it's clean,
I would,
100% clean, there's sweat somewhere I haven't found yet.
There's no such thing as a clean used mattress.
No, so actually I used to work for a furniture store,
No.
and it's illegal to resell a mattress.
It's
actually
illegal?
illegal, yeah.
Yeah.
It's illegal.
It should be, yeah.
But the thing with the treadmill,
Don't remove that tag either.
Yeah. Don't remove the tag. You'll go to jail. No, you're allowed. But,
actually, pause there for a moment. Props to Pee-wee's Big Adventure. If
Yeah.
anyone remembers, there was that
Tim
prisoner.
Burton. What's that?
There was a prisoner throughout that Pee-wee would talk to.
Yeah.
The dude was in jail. And at the end of the movie, Pee-wee he finally says, what are you in jail for anyway? And he pulls out all of those tags from the bag.
Yeah.
It was freaking awesome. But anyway.
Yeah, you would go to jail if you were a seller of the mattresses, but that's it. But
Yeah.
Was it? Oh yeah, and then a treadmill, used treadmill or exercise equipment. No matter how much I clean it, I would still think there's some place that still had the previous owner's sweat on it, and I would touch it. That would bother me because, as you know, I am kind of a germ freak.
You are kind of a germ freak.
Yeah. Not a giant one, just a bit.
Yeah, you have a touch of it.
Yeah, like day old meat. That's like the worst for me.
You got a weird one with that. That one, like I point out the flaws in your logic. The man will not eat leftovers because of germs,
Yes.
and then he'll come over and get a gyro. Yeah, how do you say
it's
that?
always
that meat that literally does nothing but sits on the counter for an unspecified amount of time.
Out of mind, out of sight. I don't know. Yeah, if I don't know about it.
That is pretty much like the antithesis, though, of what you fear.
Yeah.
And yet,
I have
delicious.
recently discovered that my mother-in-law sometimes cooks fresh meals for me that is leftovers.
Oh, they've been lying to you.
Yes, I have been lying to you.
Fantastic.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, man, you're missing out. Leftovers, something magic happens in that fridge.
Well, twice baked lasagna, I can kind of see that.
Lasagna? Oh my God, literally, you would hate this. Our Christmas tradition.
Yeah.
It's make lasagna. Michael's mother's makes lasagna, but it's make it the day before. Like literally, we have leftovers right off the rip.
Wow.
We start with leftovers. They're so much better.
That's just insane.
It's so much better with lasagna. It's the magic of the fridge, I'm telling you.
I think Dante wrote about you.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Something magic happens in the fridge where all the flavors, they become more pronounced and they mix together, and it's great.
Oh, that's just messed up.
Yep. But
So that's how I feel.
But you haven't died. Or is that what brought on your recent illness, was leftovers you've been fed and you just learned of?
No. I took a pill that's supposed to help with sugars and carbs and stuff like that.
Help do what with it?
You take it and it's supposed to help you lose weight.
Okay, it's a diet pill then.
Yes, basically. Okay. It's a diet pill, and apparently after taking it for 3 or 4 days, I started feeling ill, and I looked on the bottle, and then I Googled what you shouldn't eat if you're missing a gallbladder, which I'm currently missing, and it was pretty much, no, you don't take this pill. It will cause you huge... And I was just talking to your wife, Michelle, and I'm like, you have no idea what it's like to have cramping for 3 days straight.
That is awesome. That is fantastic.
And
that is great. She'll never know. She'll
never know what it's like.
Your pain.
So that's what it was. Just I caused myself cramping for 3 days, and I'm over it. And I decided that I have to eat. Things are actually on the list of things I should eat without a gallbladder.
But correct me if I'm wrong. So you're eating nothing but shit.
Yes.
And you felt fine.
Yes, you're not supposed to eat super, super spicy foods. And
just
bear
with me. So you're eating nothing but shit, you feel fine.
Yeah.
You start popping a diet pill.
Yes.
All of a sudden, it's your time of the month, and you're keeled over.
Yes.
Boy, did I just piss off a bunch of people.
I know.
I'm not allowed to say your time of the month, am I? I don't know how you reference that, but I'm going with your time
Actually,
of the month.
I think men have that, but I get sensitive.
I believe it with you. Actually, I'm really starting to believe with you. But so you start popping this pill.
Yes, and after I get it, the funniest part was that it never says when you order it, but when you get the bottle, it was called New Slim for women. But I took it anyways.
It's fantastic. I've grown a vagina, but nothing to talk about.
Yes, for the 3 days of that, it started hurting, and there's all the spices and caffeine in it that was doing it.
That is fascinating.
Because I'm actually not supposed to.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you should eat nothing but shit. And believe me, I'm being a hypocrite here because I don't know how I haven't starved to death the way I feed myself. It's ridiculous. But the junk food didn't make you get the cramps.
Right.
The pill did it.
Yes, and because I do get cramps from eating super spicy food, and apparently diet pills think that spicy ingredients increases your metabolism. And you look at the bottle, it's like 50 milligrams of pepper seed, and
Is there any truth in that? I don't know.
I've heard
I would
many
think
people
so.
say that spicy food can help you. That moment, not like you'd have to do it every day for it to really make a difference, but
Well, it makes
actually-
sense to me because, like, if
yeah.
you touch a hot pepper,
yeah.
it hurts.
Yeah.
There's a sensation. It does stimulate the body in
Yeah.
some way.
And when you first start taking this pill, you take 2 pills a day for the first couple of days, then you increase it to 3. That's when I started hurting, when I went to 3.
It's great. That is great.
I believe Michelle put the same hand on forehead when I told
So
her.
yeah, by Mick being the compassionate, empathetic person that she is, what, she called you an idiot?
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did.
That is what came to mind actually,
Yeah.
but I'll call you a moron just because I want to be creative.
Yes.
But yeah, that's pretty dumb. I mean, don't get me wrong, we're all stupid. We're all do stupid shit.
Yeah, I didn't
but-
think there was a cause and effect there, and there was.
Here's my thing. We all know how to lose weight. The problem is simple. It consists of really 2 things and 2 things only. And to be honest with you, it consists of 1 thing. If
Yeah.
you get down to it. If you ask me, I'm kind of of the belief, and I'm no scientist and I'm wrong about all sorts of shit, but I believe if you just work out enough, you can eat whatever the fuck you want. I think you could live on freaking pizza grease if you wanted to. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Like the worst foods imaginable.
Yeah,
if you just went to that gym enough.
Good for your heart. Yeah.
You'd be able to eat whatever you want and be as thin as you want. The other one though is watch what you eat. The problem is both of them suffer from the same exact problem, which is they completely suck. They're pretty much terrible. Watching what you eat blows. Working out's no fun. Nobody actually wants to do it. I know somebody's screaming at their little computer right now. I love working out. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Actually, I don't mind it. It's the only time I watch Battlestar Galactica.
You feel good when you do it, I gotta say, actually. And don't get me wrong, being a hypocrite once again, but I did actually sit around. Yeah, I pulled my dumbbell over the other day, and I was actually trying to work out again.
Well, I joined this challenge at work, so there's a mileage I'm trying to hit every week.
There you go.
So
That's
I've been
good
doing
deal.
that, but
Yeah.
that doesn't help what you eat when it burns the hell out of your colon.
Well, there's that, yeah. But I mean, for weight loss purposes,
Yeah.
it's obviously it's those 2 things: it's your diet and exercise.
Actually, Charlize, my wife, looked at me because when I don't have my shirt on and stuff, you can see my shape better. And she thought I lost weight. I'm like, yeah, I did. I haven't eaten in a week.
It's fantastic. Yeah, and that's the problem, though. I mean, like I don't know so much there's really a pill that helps because, I mean, I'll say it this way: even if there is, there's so many that don't. There's so many that are just doing this damage, and it's damaging you in 1 of 2 ways. I mean, it's not all just healing over with cramps.
Yeah.
The ones that effectively do nothing.
Yeah.
They're not harming you in any way, but they're likewise not benefiting you.
Yeah.
Now that has a psychological toll because, you're taking your magic pill and I'm working out and, people are coming to the conclusion I just can't lose weight no matter what I do. And in reality, you're taking your fucking sugar pill. You got your placebo and, when they work, they're awesome. When they don't, not so much.
I would like to have somebody make a placebo for me.
I would too.
Yeah.
I'm 1,000% for placebos, yeah.
Yeah.
What difference does it make? If it
No,
works,
as
it
long as it
works.
doesn't harm me.
Yeah.
No, I want a placebo that is literally just a water pill, and
Exactly.
they label it in my brain.
That's what I'm saying.
It will trick me.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm that
as
dumb.
long as they, see, that's a problem. Like I would like to quit smoking, folks, because generally speaking, when you get cancer, you shouldn't smoke. In fact, you shouldn't smoke before you get cancer if you're really smart about it. But I'm not that bright.
Yeah.
But be that as it may, where was I going with this? The
Placebo.
placebo. Yeah, the hypnosis. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna try it when the world returns to some semblance of normal, and I can go to a whoever the hypnotist, I guess,
Yeah.
whoever's doing this black voodoo magic,
Hopefully it doesn't have a heart attack in the middle of it, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be a chicken forever,
Yeah.
but I will be hypnotized hopefully into not smoking. There's a couple. It's going to be life changing. I'll say that because if it works, I'm going to just devote my life to hypnotism. But I don't believe it will work on me because I think you need to believe in that type of thing for it to work. So, do you think you could be hypnotized?
No, because it's been tried.
No, that's a story. Do tell. Under what circumstances were you scared? Was a cow staring at you with their cow hypnosis?
No, it was I would say, how many years ago? I think it was, yeah, probably about 2002, 2003. I went on a cruise with a girl, which my wife called a whore. But
fantastic.
In that cruise, there was a hypnotist on board.
All right.
And part of his show is that he would hypnotize the crowd. And I made every effort to listen to, and he hypnotized people in the crowd where they ended up walking up the stage, hypnotized up on the stage.
It. I believe it. Yeah.
So I actually sat for 2 shows, and I tried. Can you hypnotize me? Go ahead. And I relaxed. Everything he said, nothing. And he would have people come to the stage, do funny things, the whole bit. People laugh, blah, blah, blah. But so I gave it the old college try. It didn't work. I mean, there wasn't a one-on-one hypnotist.
Yeah.
But if I was going to be hypnotized, that would have been the spot for it. Because I was on vacation. I was relaxed. I didn't have any stresses.
Yeah.
You would think that would be the opportune time to hypnotize me, and I was okay for it.
I would love to be wrong. I just don't see it working because I've got these thoughts.
Yeah.
In my head. I don't know. It just couldn't be that easy.
Yeah, I think that my brain doesn't work that way.
What about subliminal messages? Do you think they actually work? I mean, there's been studies that actually show that they work.
I don't know if they have any long-term effects on me other than, like if it's trying to get me in some sort of mood or feel away. Like,
I wonder.
Fight Club had those messages in it, in the middle of it, a little message in the middle of the movie. And it made you feel a certain way, like uneasy, and that was its point.
Was it visible? I want to say
yeah,
it was
you
visible.
could see it. Oh yeah, it was. You could. Yeah. There was penises.
I thought so. Yeah.
There's penises all through the movie. You just didn't see it more than just a flash. Yeah. And it's supposed to make you feel uncomfortable, and it did. You felt like a little bit uncomfortable through the whole movie. So that worked. So I think in short term it can affect you, but I don't think long term.
Well, I mean, should I be playing an audio track that says "Don't smoke, you fucker, stop smoking"?
Oh, yeah. I could see that help in the short term, but again, I'm not sure if it'll help in the long term.
Yeah, you might not problem too. I can make it past the actual physical withdrawal, but part of me loves to smoke. Loves it, and it's a problem because it's killing me.
Well, that's what I was telling Michelle the other day. It's like I'm an American. When I get a pint of ice cream, I throw the lid away.
Yeah.
Because I'm finishing this.
American.
I'm American.
Yeah,
I'm finishing this thing.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not even going to put this lid on the counter. No, it's going in the garbage right away.
Yep.
It's gone.
We went to a local ice cream shop. We went to Emac and Bolio's the other day, and I knew I was getting a sundae, and I looked, and it's like 1, 2, 3 scoops. I'm like, who the fuck are we kidding? 3 scoops it is, and thank God it didn't go up to 9.
Yeah. That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Actually, I got a fun story for the show. So it speaks to the spirit of man, and just how we're guys. Guys will be guys because, well, that's what we do. But we're on vacation. Nichols and I are on vacation. I can't remember where we are, but we'll say Mexico. Who the hell knows? We're at some all-inclusive one. And we're sitting on the beach. We're sitting on just screensaver. So we're sitting on the beach, and this old woman, I don't know, I'm going to say she was in her 80s, is on the beach, and she's not far from us. And it becomes very clear just through her mannerisms and what she's doing that she intends to take her top off. And Nick hits me because she thinks it's funny. She's like, hey, Sean, you're going to see movies. And I'm like, yeah, I'm already looking. Because my boobdar, it's picked up on it. Yeah. Because, Mick can attest to this. I can have my back to the TV. If boobs come on, believe me, I'm already looking. My brain somehow knows, and I will be looking at that TV. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm already looking. And so, sure enough, Grandma takes her top off. And so I'm looking at, exactly what you think I'm looking at. 2, very old boobs. And Nick says to me, are you happy that you looked? I'm like, no, not really. It wasn't a choice though. It wasn't. I had no say in the matter.
Yeah.
I shit you not. What happens next is amazing. When her twin sister shows up and begins to take her top off, and Nichols looks to me laughing. Like, are you going to do it to yourself again? And I said, I'm already looking. And I got to see. And yes, it was as bad as the first time. And she said, why would you do that to yourself? And I said, I'm just thanking God they're not triplets.
Thank you, God.
But, yeah, it's because boobies.
Well, it's the old saying. Once you've seen one boob, you want to see them all.
Exactly. Ron White. You want to see the rest of them, right?
Yeah.
Oh. So yeah, I thought that was a good story for this.
Yeah, that's a good story.
Anyway, I hate to break our rhythm, but I have to because all this talk of cancer. Well, I am in fact an addict, folks. So
yep. I think our next show we can talk about.
Oh, are we just gonna wrap up the show?
We're gonna wrap the show or just pause it?
I don't know actually. Let's see where we're at. Well, I'll be goddamned.
What?
If I'm not mistaken, we're at the 36-minute mark, so I guess we should just wrap this up.
Yeah, because we've got many things to talk about. We should spread this out.
Yeah, we have no defined schedule for our shows or our duration yet, so if you're listening to this, thank you so much. And if you made it this far, holy crap, thank you so much. We are going to keep expanding what we're doing. I mean, we're working on some websites. We're working on some Patreon servers and Discord servers and all sorts of things. Anything I'm forgetting?
I would just want to add that if you have any complaints, you can mail us at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, Washington, D.C.
Oh, man, that is a great one. Yep, we're going to have a lot of fun there.
Yes.
All right, for now, then, I guess we are going to call it a night. So, again, thank you guys for joining, and look forward to more to come.
Yes, thank you. And expect more nerd topics in the future.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically anything we think of.
Well, that's the other thing.
The other thing, yes.